Awesome. I love it. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk about 6:45 launch. It is coming and I'm going to give us all the key dates and everything. Before I dive into that though, I wanted to kind of just give us a little gut check. And I truly Googled like, what is a coach? Because so often I think that we can get stuck in this rut of like, of not really like thinking about the role that we have, the role that we portray as coaches. And so I pulled this up off my BFF Google, and it simply says that coaching is a process that aims to improve performance and focuses on the here and now rather on the distant past or future. Coaching is unlocking a person's potential to maximize their own performance, and it is helping them to learn rather than teaching them. And what I gather from this, you guys, is that, and I think of myself often in other roles of coaching, right? Because as a Beachbody coach, a lot of times you can feel like if I'm not a fit pro, or if I don't know all the things there is to know about food and nutrition or wellness, if I don't have a degree in health and wellness, and I'm not backed by like, some sort of NASM certification, then I must not be I'm kind of a coach, right? Like I'm not really a coach, but I had the role of coaching for much of my life. I coached color guard and dance for so many years. And that was like my thing after school. I would coach little babies in kindergarten with baby ballet, and I would coach high schoolers. I coached college age students. I coached every age range. And after school care, I coached dance in my elementary schools too. So take me from like literally just learn how to walk and you want to learn how to dance to you are a collegiate like student of your craft. I've coached all ranges, and that's just something I've done my whole life. And so when I was looking at this definition of what is a coach, like what does a coach do? You're trying to improve someone's performance and helping them focus on the here and now rather than the past or the future. Let me break that down for a second. And I promise you, if you got on this call just a second after I started, I'm going to break down 6:45, but this is on my heart and I have to, since I have the mic tonight, I have to say this. Your goal as a coach is to help someone improve some aspect of their life. And we have a silver platter that we offer people for fitness, for nutrition, for peer support, for mindset development, right? So we have so many things that we can offer people to help them improve some area of their life. The other aspect is we're helping them to focus on here and now. We're focusing on today. What can I do right now versus, oh, I used to be that weight. I used to be so in shape. I used to have confidence in myself. No. What can you do today to get that back in this moment? What choices can you make right now? And then we don't look ahead at the future. We're not trying, oh, I'm so far from my goal. I'm so far from my goal. No. Let's bring it back to where you are today. What can you do to move 1 inch closer? And that's what we do for others, but that's also, my friends, what we do for ourselves. Because on our team, we talk about how you have to learn how to coach yourself in order to also then be able to pass, the baton behind you and coach others. It's unlocking a person's potential. Guys, hear me on this. When you hear the word person's potential, that can sound really shiny, but potential is something that someone doesn't see in themselves yet. So when you're having conversations with people and they're like, I could never do what you do. When you're like, you should be a coach. Oh my gosh, you'd be an amazing coach. Like, I could never do what you do. You see their potential, and your craft is to see if you can unlock it to help them, right? Of course they don't see it. Of course, the way I see you guys, you don't see in yourselves. Of course, the way, that someone else sees me, I might not see it, right? We always have to have that person kind of a couple steps ahead of us to reach back and say, come on, I see what you are capable of. And that's our gift as coaches. And it's also helping them to learn rather than teaching them. And I think this is important. This is like the whole, you can draw a horse. I almost said a coach. You can draw a coach to water. No, you could draw a horse to water, right? But you can't teach it how to drink kind of thing. It's like, I want to, or the thing of like, feed a man a fish and he'll eat one night, but teach him how to fish and he'll be able to eat forever, right? I want people to be able to do this without me. I want them to graduate on and just be so in charge of their own wellness journey that they don't need me. I want you guys to be able to fire me Like, Brittany, I don't need that 6:45 training because you know what? I've already done all my research and I actually trained my team on it already. You're a little late to the game, girlfriend, right? Like, I want to be able to give you the tools where I'm not spoon feeding you and you're waiting on me, but rather you are so empowered to learn your craft versus waiting for somebody to teach you. And the same thing applies, right? I want people who want to wake up and get better at, showing up to their morning routine versus the person that I have to drag along. And every week it's the same thing that they're telling me, right? So a coach is not somebody who has all the answers. A coach isn't somebody who's perfect. A coach, it's just the person that is a guiding post. You're like a lighthouse for people to point them in the right direction. Okay. And I found this little thing. I don't know if you guys, let me see if I can move my thing because I couldn't see it, but this little, I found this graphic on a power hour I was watching today. I was like, oh, that's so good. And so I screenshot it. That's why you can see their mouse right there, their cursor. But this is a lethargic coach versus an activated coach. And a lethargic coach is somebody who's lacking focus, lacking clarity. And an activated coach is somebody who's crystal clear, focused. And I want you to look at the kind of difference. Okay. And I promise this all ties into 645. A lethargic, unfocused coach is focused 100% on their journey. And you might be like, Brittany, if I'm focused 100% on my journey, isn't that a good thing? If you are so focused on like your journey, a lot of times that's a perfectionist mentality, right? Like that 100% of me, you're not worried about helping other people. It's very narcissistic. It's a different way of looking at your journey. I am, on the other hand, activated and focused. I'm deeply committed to my journey. If I have a glass of wine tonight, I don't beat myself up. If I enjoy pizza, I don't count the calories. If I'm injured and I can't work out, I don't come on and say, I'm a failure and I have to start the whole program over again. This 100% focused on your journey is this whole in and out thing that happens with coaches. It's this stick shift mentality where you're in and then something happens and you're out. And then you start all over again and you're in and then you're out. And that's a really exhausting place to come from. It's also a really exhausting place to watch. I want you to be aware of this. When you are so all or nothing on your journey, people watching you sense that. And so they're waiting for you to fall back to being nothing again. Oh, there she goes again. There she goes with her workouts again, right? And the thing about me is I think people are so annoyed by me at this point, people who've known me all these years, because they're like, well, she's really not going anywhere. She is really not quitting, is she? Because I've had to figure out how to just be deeply committed to my journey, that there's no end date or anything like that. The lethargic coach it's okay if somebody wants to join me. It's cool if somebody wants to do 645 with me versus the focused coach. When you get off the call tonight, I want you to be so sold out focused that you will be helping others start their journey with 645 and complete it. Like there's just no other option. A lethargic, unfocused coach might have a tiny little group they're a part of. Maybe not. Some months of maybe going. Sometimes they post, sometimes they don't. Whereas a focused coach always has an accountability group to offer. There's always something to invite to, and they're deeply committed to knowing what the focus is in that group, right? Not tracking our business versus tracking our business, setting month-to-month goals versus, for me, you guys, SC is no longer a goal. If I asked at the top of June, what are your goals? I wouldn't be like, SC. No. Success Club is a non-negotiable. It's a checklist. It's a byproduct of my actions. So my month-to-month goals are the way I show up. My month-to-month goals aren't what rank I am or what SC points I hit. It's how I'm showing up to serve others. So it's flipping the script on that. If you stop focusing so much on the points and you focus more on the people and what you're offering people and how you can serve them, that level of focus is just going to activate your business. So as we start to talk about 645, how can you not just think about, I need 3 people to do this with me so I can get Success Club points, or I need 2 people so that I can go Emerald, when it launches on July 6th to join as a coach. No. It's not about the numbers and the rank. That's a byproduct of your actions and behaviors. Focus more on what you're doing, less on where you're going, and you'll get there faster, I promise. And this was last night, Ashley talked about the whole idea of, being really intentional with your schedule and time management, and that gut check of looking at the settings on our phone and seeing how much time we're actually scrolling, right, or on the screen. And And so this unfocused coach isn't really intentional about that. And so I hope yesterday was like a wake-up call of where you can start prioritizing your business building activities and time. And I loved seeing some of you guys on Win the Morning this morning attacking that, saying, you know what? I could stay on Win the Morning 15 extra minutes and send out invites to people who watched my stories from yesterday. I could do that, right? And I love that. Okay, so what kind of coach would you want? First, before we even ask about you, like when you enrolled, would you want the unfocused coach that only cares about their fitness journey, is in and out if it's not perfect? They're not really like promoting anything. You know, maybe they've got a group, some months they've got something going on, sometimes they don't. Or do you want this like deeply committed coach that's like so focused on helping other people and serving them? There's always something they can count on. They follow up with confidence because every month when they get a no from somebody, they're like, cool, next month when I open up enrollment, I'll let you know what's going on. Or cool, next month we've got a new program launching that I'll circle back and give you the sample workout to when it's available. Like that's the focus coach. The no's just roll off the back because it's like, cool, I'll see you next month. I'm here, you know? So what kind of coach would you want? I guarantee probably the one on the right. What kind of coach do you want to be? It's probably the one on the right. And these are the simple things that Ashley talked about last night, but they're so simple, you guys, that it's really simple not to do them. One day of not inviting people doesn't add up to much, right? But if you continue to repeat that behavior, it starts to add up to a lot. And so I wanted to start with this today because I really want us to align ourselves. It's not just another program. It's not just another launch. I want you to be activated around this. I want you to be focused. I want you to be so excited about how you can serve and help people this summer, utilizing one more tool in your toolbox, okay? So 645, just a couple notes about it in case you, I don't know, slept under a rock the last couple months. It's a program from Amwala, okay? He is the one that did 6 weeks of the work and 4 weeks of the prep. And a lot of people are afraid of him. And I would highly encourage you, who has never done an Amwala program before? Let me scroll through. I see, whoa, hold on. Keep your hands up for a second because I got to scroll through and see this. What? Oh my OMG, y'all.
He scares me.
I'm mildly mortified for you. Here's the thing. Amwala, my friends, is like a giant teddy bear. And I was really intimidated when they announced 6 weeks of the work at Summit, because to me, I thought I was going to get cussed out. Like that's how they leveraged it at Summit when they announced the new program that was coming out. And I was like, oh no, I don't need anybody else to be cussing me out. Like, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Sorry about you. And so at first I kind of had a little bit of like a guard up to it. And then I started seeing other people doing it. And then they came out with 4 weeks of the prep. And that program paired so beautifully with my marathon training that I did 16 times in 2020 because my races kept getting canceled and reset. That actually never did happen. So I literally got to hang with Amwala for a lot of my marathon prep, and he is a giant teddy bear. And you guys, you're going to fall in love with him. And so if you've never done any of his programs, leverage that. Like, talk about that, use that. Why? What was your hesitation? What was your fear? Because other people probably have that, right? For me, it was, I just thought I was going to get cussed out and it was going to be way too hard for me. And I realized that 4 weeks of the prep actually meets me right where I am. And it's one of my favorite workouts. Now, 6 weeks of the work is intense. I will say that, but him as a trainer, I think I don't even think, I know you guys are going to love him. Uh-oh, where did my thing go? Can you still see it? I had something else pop up. The workout program is 13 weeks long. Okay. So it's a 90-day program, 6 days a week, 45 minutes a day. 6:45. That's where that comes from. Okay. It's strength and mobility training. Okay. But the whole idea is that he wants you to be ready for your workout the next day. So without the whole soreness, fatigue setting in, where all of a sudden it's like, I can't even sit on the toilet. I can barely like make it out of my bed this morning. I'm not going to be able to make it, to that workout. Right. We want to be able to show up. So there are warm-ups and cool downs that are actually like integrated into the program. Okay. And then I think what's really cool is, for me, I tend to not warm up enough before a workout. Like I'll do what the trainer does, but I'm like, I don't have time for 10 minutes prior to this. And a lot of times, guilty, I'll skip the cool down, right? And so I think what's really cool is he's really showing how this is actually crucial to the success. So, like everything, when we have something for the very first time, go all in. But the cool thing is this is literally part of the stop clock. So you have to kind of do it to do the program. There's power loops that are included in the pack, and then light, medium, heavy weights and a mat are suggested or needed for it. So key dates to know: June 28th, which is a week from this Monday, coming up, so in about a week and a half, our sample workout will be available on BOD. This is when we really start inviting anyone, because guess what? You have something free that you can offer anyone. So literally everyone that starts watching your stories on June 28th through the end of July, truly through the end of the 13 weeks, you can say, oh my gosh, you're so amazing for always checking out my stories. I hope you're having the best day. Listen, I have a sample of this workout that I'm doing right now. Would you like to try it? I'd love to send it your way. Boom, that's it. A sample, right? I'll say that again for you if you want to jot it down. Hey, thanks for watching my stories. I love seeing your face pop up. That's simple, right? I always put a little greeting. Then you say, listen, I have a sample of this workout that I did today, and I'd love to send it your way. Let me know, and I'll give you the link. Or you could ask a question. I'd love to send a sample of this workout I did today your way. Would you like me to send you the link? Right? Very simple and super, super they don't answer you. Cool. You follow up. Hey, girlfriend, just wanted to check in. I still have that link. I'd love to send it your way. Let me know if you want it. Right? Easy follow-ups, but you're not inviting them to I don't know, sell their soul on the internet. You're just giving them a link. You're giving them free value. Okay. So starting on June 28th, leverage that. July 6th is when that coach and anyone who's upgrading to coach and anyone who is discount coach has the window open, right? So July 26th is a really awesome day to grow your team, right? Anybody that joins on July 6th has to become a coach or a VIP customer if they're not already. Here's the cool part about this, you guys. The program is 13 weeks long. I know that if the program is talking about needing to make sure that you are not sore the next day and that you've got ample recovery built in, I probably can guess that Recover is a much needed supplement that they're going to need, right? If they're doing it for 13 weeks and they're going to need to renew their Energize and their Recover at some point during that, right? Why would they not enroll as a coach? Why would they not enroll as a VIP customer? Because then they'll get the discount so that while they're completing this program for 13 weeks, they don't have to use the excuse that the stack was too much money, right? They have the discount. And if the stack was too much money, they have an opportunity to also sell it to their friends and family if they want to bring other people on board and earn some money, right? So it seems like a really logical choice to have somebody automatically who's interested in this become a coach on July 6th and get this. July 19th, though, is the customer window. And that's when access will start in Beachbody On Demand. So you will not have access, VIP early access until then. And that's also when our prep week will begin on BOD groups. So I want you to write that down because we are going to have a team-wide 645 group. You do not need to, reinvent the wheel or do anything. You literally need to invite. Hey, Sally, thanks for watching my story. This workout was crazy today. I'd love to send you the sample. What email can I send it to? Right? You're literally going to say that until it is such a script like this, where you can just say it all day, every day. You're not going to have to worry about a group. You're just going to invite to it. Okay, so our team-wide group is going to begin prep week on the 19th. That'll give customers enough time to urgently place their order. By this point, you guys, if you have somebody who's told you no, they don't want to be a coach, right? Then you should know, okay, July 19th, sister, I'm going to have a link ready for you. So they should be purchasing on the 19th truly so that they can get their pack in time to begin on the 26th, hopefully. Fingers crossed it comes in time, right? But that's also the urgency why somebody would want to purchase between July 6th and the 18th. The urgency of you want all your stuff because we're starting prep week on the 19th and week 1 begins the following Monday. So you can wait till the 19th and pay full price on your supplements for 13 weeks. And you can wait till the 19th and maybe not get all your stuff in time to start with us. You can, that's cool, right? Or you can sign up earlier, have a discount on your supplements, plus know all of your program materials will be they'll be with you in advance so that you can study the program and be ready to dive in solid with us, right? So you can truly leverage that time crunch for people. Okay, challenge pack options. So you can see pricing. So the challenge packs now, all of them come with both Portion Fix and To Be Mindset. They come with the containers and the food journal so that people can kind of pick their path when they get started, right? So we know that every pack also comes with a shaker bottle, and every pack also comes with a year access to Beachbody On Demand. In addition, they can pick Shakeology or the Performance Pack, and that's $160. And then with this program, you get the welcome guide that goes with it, but you also get the power loops as well. Okay. If somebody were to ask, can I just use the ones from 80 Day Obsession? No, they're different, right? The answer is no. And also, this is a test group. We want results, right? Like, remember when we did 9-week Control Freak all together for the very first time, and it was like fire. Like, we wanted results with that program from start to finish. That was our commitment. That's the same thing with this. If somebody's like half in, half out, I don't want to drink Shakeology, I just want to, they're not ready to be in our test group. Like, that's not what I want. I want someone who wants results. So they need to get the pack, right? And then the deluxe comes with everything, of course. So, and deluxe is $219 for that US price. Okay. Beachbody On Demand, if they already have Beachbody On Demand, I'm sorry, completion packs are $130. Now, this is where I'm going to talk to you as a coach and tell you that this is the smart way for you to enroll. You already have your Beachbody On Demand, unless, of course, for some reason, maybe last summer you enrolled with MBF. Hold on. Sorry, my dog is literally being a jerk. Okay, train of thought back. Choo choo. So the completion pack, this is what I do. I get Shakeology every month, and I get Energize and Recover every month. Shakeology every month is about, $99, give or take, right? And then the stack is like, let's call it $82. Okay, so we'll just call it $180 together. We'll just call it that. Yeah, 180 for my supplements that I get every month. Okay, I'm going to flip to this one really quick. The accessory bundle option to just only get the upgrade and only get the loops. That's all you get. You get the loops and you get the upgrade on BOD. That's it, is $60. So add that on to the 180 I already spend on supplements and add on $60. That is now, I'm doing math, $240. I am saving $50 in the month of July by bundling it all together in a completion pack. Now, maybe you don't get all three every month. So a performance or a Shakeology completion pack might be smarter for you. I don't know, but I know that if you get your Shakeology by itself in July, that's $90. And if you pay for $645 by itself, that's $60. That's $150. You're saving $20 by getting the completion pack. So my suggestion is, after Cookies and Creamy is done and you get your Cookies and Creamy and you've got all that set up, or if you're waiting till July and Cookies and Creamy on July 6th to bundle it, I would do it as a pack. Yes, I would do it as a pack together. Okay. If you have questions on that and you need me to kind of like explain it better, I can totally try. I think it might have been a little confusing, but Cookies and Creamy is coming on the 22nd. If you're not getting it on the 22nd, because maybe your June shipment already went through and you're like, that's way too much Shako, I'm going to wait. Then on July 6th, you'd probably want to cancel whatever Shako subscription you've got going, right? So that on July 6th, you can get the completion pack with Cookies and Creamy, Shakeology plus $645 all bundled together. Or you can get Cookies and Creamy on the 22nd when it launches, and then maybe do the performance pack on the 6th or whatever that looks like for you, right? But just make sure that like you're thinking ahead with your home direct orders so that they don't go through and then you're like, oh crap, it already went through, right? Be on the offense with that, not the defense. Okay, so everybody hold up. Did you print these out? Who gets a gold star? Bridget, you're supposed to be my favorite. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If you don't have this, you guys, I shared instructions for how you can obtain it in the Coach Online office. Okay. And this is Beachbody's launch plan. It's in the Coach Online office, and it's so simple. And this is how we break down every launch. Number one, we educate ourselves. That's what we're doing tonight. Okay. But there's also other key dates to get trained. So on June 18th, there's the product training guide comes out on in the Coach Online office. So June 18th, here in a couple of days, you'll see that. The champion is going to have training. The champion page is going to have trainings from June 21st through June 25th. So you can keep your eyes peeled to the Beachbody Champions page on Facebook for that. Okay. And then you already have the dates for the launch for coaches and customers written down. So you're kind of like, okay, I'm in the loop. I also guarantee that at some point between now and the launch, Amwala will probably speak on the National Wake Up Call, right? So that's like, okay, I got to get on for that and make sure I'm really listening from the horse's mouth about this program, right? There's no better way. You might want to follow Amwala on Instagram, and just that way you're seeing and staying in touch with things that he's sharing as he's prepping for the launch. And then I'm sure there's probably coaches from the test group that they will bring on for the National Wake Up Call too. So stay in the know. That is remember back to the top of this call, the coach's job is not to teach you. The coach's job is to empower you to be a learner. I'm empowering you to be learners. Okay. Planning your launch on BOD groups is your second part. And then inviting others to join is the third part. So step one, we're in this phase. I also gave us on the team page this prep calendar. There's two of them. They're the same. It's just one has a picture of Amwala. If that's what gets you up in the morning, then print that one out. Okay. That's what I'm saying. For me, I was just like, I'm just going to do a little curiosity marketing, right? I'm going to do a little, I want them to say, what is 645, right? But learning about the program, yes. Getting the program, yes, is part of step one. Because the best way to learn about any program is to freaking do it. Yeah. I mean, for me, that's the best thing. But also, this prep calendar is a great way to breadcrumb and build curiosity on social. Because every day when you show up and you're prepping for 645 and you're prepping for 645 and you're prepping for 645, it's not just this thing that people hear once. People have to hear something, you guys, many times. They say on average 7 times, but I think sometimes maybe even more, because our world is getting so loud, right? Like, think about when you're scrolling on stories. By the time you get to the last story, do you think you can probably remember what was happening in the first story you watched? Probably not, right? Like, you're like, okay, I'm finally tired of this, moving on, right? It's the same with other people. So when they see your story, that doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want to join. They didn't hit the poll button, this and that, right? They're watching a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of sensory overload at times. So I truly believe we have to be loud about some of these things repetitively so that people know, oh gosh, that's that thing she's doing, right? So I want you to think of 3 things that you want to promote with this program. Okay, for me, when I think about 645, one thing that I love, the idea that I love, is this idea of winning the morning. That by the time the clock hits 645, by the time I see 645 hit on my phone, AM, people, AM, that my me time is already done. I've already filled my cup. It's 645 and I've already filled my cup. And so, you know what? I won the morning. And it can only go downhill from here, right? No. But I like this idea of like, let's challenge ourselves that by the time 645 hits, you can go be mom, you can go be coworker, you can go be teacher, you can go be whatever you need to go wear that hat and go be awesome at that. But also give yourself the gift of some time in the morning where you get to be you and you get to pour into you. So winning the morning is an important piece for me that I'll be promoting. I'll be talking about that. I want people to build confidence through consistency. This is not an easy program simply because it's longer, right? People will not make it to the finish. But my goal is to teach people how they can build confidence by being consistent and showing up. And the more that we have a tribe of us staying consistent and showing up, the more it gives other people confidence through our actions, right? You guys help me help my people because they see such an army of all of us that they're like, well, if they're doing it, why not me? How come I could do it too, right? They fly on our coattails. I love that. And then this whole idea of giving ourselves the gift of completion this summer, like starting and finishing something we said we were going to do. So consistency, completion, and this idea of winning your morning and putting yourself first on your to-do list. Those are the things I want to promote. So in the chat, is there anything, you don't have to have 3 if you don't already have 3, but in the chat, drop for us what's at least one thing that you're like, I think this would be really good for me and my, like what I'm passionate about, the people that I talk to promote for this program. Share these ideas with each other. In terms of modifier, Leah, I don't have a solid answer for that. But remember that the program guide is launching on the product training guide is coming on the 18th. So you can peep that on June 18th, and then you can come back and teach us. Okay, build excitement for coaches and clients. Building excitement for coaches and clients. So it's important, you guys. This business is a business of duplication. I know that a lot of your coaches might be in Inspire Beauty, and so they might see the things that I put in there, but you have to understand that in your team page, when you just repeat it and you reshare those resources, they see it sometimes in different ways, or it might not get lost in the shuffle. So even if you just have a team of 1, make sure you're educating your people. Hey girl, did you see that there's a new program coming out this summer? I'd love for us to do it together. You know, catch me up on your journey. What program are you currently doing? You know, and if they're like, I'm not doing a program, you're like, cool, let's I've got a prep calendar. Why don't we dive into that together? By the way, I'm starting this prep calendar on Monday, and it goes completely through prep week. And so it'll go right all the way until we start. But again, remember, I'm not so 100% focused on my journey that I don't care about anything else. I also know that Summit is in there. So some of these workouts I might swap out for Summit workouts, right? I also know that, you know, I've done prep calendars like this where, guess what? I just take my scissors and I cut off one of the weeks because I don't have 5 weeks. I only have 4 because maybe you're finishing a program next week, right? So make it work for you. Yes. But this prep calendar, share the resource. And if your coaches see you doing it, then that's going to make them want to do it, right? When the sample workout comes out on the 28th, make sure that you are, yes, the 28th, make sure that you're hyping that, make sure you're sharing it, make sure in all of your groups, right? And then also sharing the fact that we do have a launch group opportunity for people who want to be in a group of everyone who's only doing this program. It's so special and unique, right? When we get to do a program from start to finish all together. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is when we plan our BOD group. So like I said, we have a team-wide BOD group that's going to be happening, so you don't have to worry about that. The prep week though, just make sure you know prep week starts on July 19th, group begins the 26th, and then start promoting your group and posting with purpose. At any time, you guys, I'm not really promoting, inviting to 645 right now, other than just breadcrumbing that it's happening and kind of laying a foundation, but I'm not heavily inviting. Why? Because we have Cookies and Creamy next week. And so I'm not trying to invite to this, but this is happening first. It just gets a little confusing. So I'm trying to get through Cookies and Creamy's launch next Tuesday, and then it's on. I'm going to really be talking about joining us for this. Now, if somebody says, they come back to me and they're like, I think it's too intense. Awesome. They can be in my regular sisterhood group. Let's get it going, girl. Let's build you up to that. I want to see you be able to crush this program at some point in your journey, right? So you don't have to worry if this is the best part. If it's too intense, there's always a level below. So that's the good news. If it wasn't intense enough, if you give it to them and they're like, this just wasn't intense enough, you're like, well, I guess I can't help you. You should be coaching me, right? At that point. Yeah. So the good news is if it is too intense, they don't have to be scared away. There's other things they can try after they try the sample. Okay, so this is an invite. I will put it in the script that you can put in your notes on your phone. And this is just, guys, again, these are samples of things I say. I write these things out. I speak them. I learn the way I sound, and I take that into text. So if you don't sound like this, don't write like this, right? So here's the example of something I may say to somebody. Hey, Sally, I don't know if you've seen, but I'm taking on a new workout program this summer. I'm looking for 10 women who'd be willing to do the program with me from start to finish. I'm laying the expectation for others right now. I'm laying the groundwork that this is what I expect. Okay. We'd be the first ones testing this program out. And I thought of you because you're always running and you're already so athletic. I thought of you because your energy is contagious. I thought of you because last month we talked about joining my boot camp and it wasn't the right time. I don't know, right? Like, tell them why you thought of them. There's different reasons for different people. I would love it if you'd be a part of this test group with me. What do you think? Would you be down? Now, you can also flip the question. I'd love for you to be a part of this test group with me. Would you like to try a sample workout of it first? Right? So like you can do either question at the end, but this is just an example of something you may start saying to people literally starting in about 1 week. Okay. Step 3. Let me back up to the script. If somebody's like, oh my God, I freaking love the sample workout. I am so down. Like, yes, count me in. This is where it's fun because you can decide, would you rather have them start with a Let's Get Up pack immediately and win some SC points in June? And then when it launches, have them upgrade to coach, maybe try out the other supplement, right? Like flip it, or they get the 50% discount code for getting a challenge pack in June. Everybody gets a 50% discount code for that if they purchased a pack in June. So Leah had shared that resource for that. That's just like awesome, right? So you have choices too. So if you're like, well, I don't know about inviting because the program's not out yet, that's okay. These dialogues I'm having take time. Usually somebody doesn't just turn around and say, yeah, sure. Do you want my credit card number? Doesn't happen that way, right? So it's okay to start the conversation now, because by the time July 6th rolls around, if someone's like, oh my God, I'm so excited, tomorrow's the day, you're like, yes, me too. How exciting is that to already have people that on the launch day, you're going to be getting them a share cart ready. That's what we want. That's what you want, is to have a list of people who need a share cart on that day. Okay, this launch calendar is at the very bottom, and this is perfect, you guys. Starting next Tuesday, it gives you crystal clear, tangible steps. So utilizing your Success Club tracker, right? We want to make sure we're doing our business building activities, but there's other things you can tag on to this. You can tag on, starting your initial marketing on social media, making a post about it. When you do the sample workout on the 28th, you can share about your experience with that, right? You can, on the 29th, it says start inviting inactive coaches. So you can start having conversations with your inactive coaches on the 29th. So it gives you bite-sized things to do so that by the time the coach launch happens, you're ready to set up share carts. And then anyone that doesn't want to be a coach, you can continue those conversations leading up to the 19th so that you can set up the share carts on that day, right? Cool. Like I said, before day 1 of our group, you want to print this out and start using it. And also committing to your daily power hours. The way you'll build momentum for this is by building momentum, by taking action. Okay. You want to brainstorm creative post ideas. So like I said, those 3 things, figure out 3 things that you're sold out excited about. 3 things that are, and you might start to develop these too as you learn more about the program. So it's okay if today you're like, I don't really have 3 things yet. Figure out 1 thing you're excited about. And then on the 28th, once you try the program, maybe you have another thing you're excited about. And after Amwala speaks on National Wake Up Call, you have another thing you're excited about, right? Like, allow that to be natural. Okay. Set a goal for yourself of how many people you want to add into our group. Now, I'm going to tell us a team goal. For 9-week Control Freak, we said that we wanted 50 coaches or members to be a part of that group. And we surpassed that goal. So I'm going to level us up. I want 75 people in our BOD group. That's the number I'm putting for our team. You figure out how you fit into that. I don't know, but 75. And that might be people who are already teammates of yours. Like, you know what? I have 3 teammates. My goal is to have 2 of those teammates do it with me. Right? I have, I have 10 coaches. I want to make sure 5 of them are doing this program with me. Right? So set a goal. It doesn't just have to be new people, but also how do you make your people stick around longer and fall in love with being a part of this community? Okay. On 7/6, remember, it starts with me. So be ready to purchase your pack. Make sure that you figure out what you're going to do. Like I said, if you need to pause, delay, cancel a Shakeology so that on the 6th, you're able to do that, make sure that you're taking care of your due diligence first, right? And then share about it. When you purchase it, share about it on your stories. When it arrives, share about it on your stories. When you unbox it, share about it on your stories. Like, it's important. People need to see some of this stuff sometimes, to see the value of everything they get. And while you're sharing what it is, also share why it's important, right? These are really important things, so that people can visualize, like, oh, okay, I see, right? I see what happens when you, when we have the VIP, what's it called? The access happens on the 19th, like, screen record you scrolling through and showing how many look at, oh my God, look at how many workouts came with this program. And look, oh my God, like, look at all the stuff that we're going to do. Right. And show them what they actually physically get when they join. Because sometimes people need to see that stuff. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop the share here. We've got like 4 minutes until I want to transition over. Boop, boop, boop. So I'm going to check if there's questions in here. Yes, Leah answered that. Leah, all the coaches will be added. Yep. Yep, it will 100%. By the way, yes, I stopped getting 360. I think my golden scoop is one of my last things I have over here. I no longer get 365 or swag and things like that. If you don't know what that is, when you've been in Shakeology for 365 days, you've had your subscription for a year, they send you something, some goodies, and then 2 years they send you another goodie, and then 3 years and another goodie, and it just gets wild. I had to forfeit that because this is just smarter for my business to do when I move those around. So yes, it would cancel your 365. So you have to ask yourself, do you want a shaker cup or do you want to save $50? I don't know. You just have to decide that. For me, it's pretty obvious what I'm going to do. Which I don't love that they do that, but it is what it is. All right, I'm going to hit stop on the recording.